Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show, Sunday evening. Okay, I had surgery this past Friday. I'm back, as you can see. I have cheated death once again, okay? Tonight, my show topic is not necessarily trending. However, I want to discuss this. I'm asking the question out the gate. Is Jamaica still a plantation? This is not intended to troll or to try and dehumanize anyone. I really am curious if it's still a plantation. I've never been to Jamaica. I do want to go. At some point, I want to go see the home of the Wailers and Bob Marley, okay? Trenchtown, okay? But I have some notes here, and there's a video in my community section. Salute to Janine. She sent me the video yesterday. I posted it. The video is titled, "Why Can't Jamaicans Access Their Own Beaches?" Okay? And in case you don't know, they have 74 public beaches. Jamaica earned their independence in 1962. However, they have something called the Beach Control Act from 1956. The Beach Control Act, 1956. Even though England no longer controls Jamaica, shall we say, this law is still in place. I guess it's because of the corporations, the money. We've had discussions before about other cultures and or ethnicities that have their hooks in Jamaica, okay? Also, just a few notes here I want to put on the table. 20% of the population in Jamaica has no land titles, okay? And somewhere around the mid-40s, they earned the right to vote if you had a land title, okay? You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, all right? So that's my main topic tonight. We can also discuss the minimum wage, which I think is $85 per week. But I'm asking the question, is Jamaica still a plantation? How is it that the natives, the locals, cannot use the beaches for the most part? They have to go through certain roads. If they work at the resorts, they have to leave. They can't hang out. If they are selling any types of items, handmade things, there's a certain amount of people that they only allow on the beaches. I think it's 2 at a time. I think it's a sad situation. Again, I've never been to Jamaica, but I want to discuss this in its entirety if we can, all right? Also, I want to put some respect on a young man's name, Spencer Cornelia, okay? A couple of you sent me a video that he did on DJ Envy and Cesar Pina on his YouTube channel. Salute to this young man, okay? He did a great breakdown. Some of the lawsuits that I see in the video are people that I encouraged to file lawsuits. I'm not looking for props. I'm not looking for shout outs and recognition. No, I have a 501c3. This is what I do, and I work with people behind the scenes. If you have been scammed, or if you think that you've been scammed by DJ Envy, a.k.a. Rashawn Casey and Cesar Pina, reach out to me. I can help you get legal representation. But anyway, salute to this young man. He did a great breakdown. It's probably the only detailed breakdown, aside from what Tony the Closer has done. Tony and I talk from time to time. This was his story that he originally broke, okay? DJ Envy, Cesar Pina, and Jennifer Pina, scamming! And let me just say this, for those of you who, you're not really paying attention, you know, not that everybody has to, but Cesar Pina has been scamming a lot of people from the Hispanic community. This is not just a black hip-hop thing. He has been scamming from the Hispanic community. He went to jail for this. Prison. He's a certified scammer and a piece of shit, okay? Convicted drug dealer, bringing narcotics through Newark Airport. But again, salute to this young man, Spencer. He gave a great breakdown, all right? Also this evening, I want to talk and spend a little time about one of my sponsors, David D. Cordova. David, if you want to chime in, he's got another book, Decoded 2, The Secrets of the Lord. I recommend this book. I just got my copy, okay? We'll talk about that. I'm sorry, Troll Babies, good evening, guys. Are we okay? Spelling, audio. Is the stream okay? Okay, I had to restart things. You know the story. I'm here in Stone Harbor. It's raining like hell, all right? Is Jamaica still a plantation? And there's something else I'm forgetting here. I know it is. Well, other parts of the West Indies Barbados, and most other places, St. Kitts, Dominica, St. Croix, those beaches are public beaches and the people can use those beaches. What is it about Jamaica? Why can't the locals access most of these 74 beaches? Families that have been fishing for decades, fishermen, they can't use the beaches to fish. People can't use, or I should say, they cannot rent out jet skis. It's a goddamn mess, okay? Also, showrunner, Sleepy Joe, President Biden. He called my homie LL Cool J a boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's video footage. It's really sad. Are you guys going to vote for this lunatic again? I voted for Trump twice. It's my nigga 4 or 5. Joe Biden, he called him, was it L.O. Cool Roy? Couldn't even say his name right. This was during his speech at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's Phoenix Awards. An MC Light and the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Call in if you will. And just one more thing before I get the show cracking here. Oh, salute to Tasha K. Tasha K has got the internet on fire. Fire. I think it's fair to say her and Adam 22 have broken the internet. Are you guys up to speed? Tasha K did an interview with Adam 22 from the No Jumper Empire. And Tasha went balls deep on everybody. You have to see the interview. I called her just to compliment her on the interview. And here's some tea for you. So she did an interview with Joe Budden. I'm not sure when, within the last couple of months. Joe's my guy. But Joe didn't put the interview out. Something to do with Cardi B from what Tasha K says, and I believe Tasha. This morning, or was it late last night? Hoo chow. Tasha went in on Joe Budden. Went in. I can't even repeat what she said because he didn't or was not going to put out that interview. Adam 22 goes on his IG page and gets to clapping kapaka at Joe Budden. Troll babies, is it up? Is it stuck? Is it lit? Where are we? Call in with regards to the tea, the mess, the bullshit, okay? All right, sit tight. I see you guys on the phone. Let me just get things set up and situated here. Area code 914. You will be my first caller. Sit tight. Anything else I forgot to mention here? So my surgery. This past Friday, it was cosmetic surgery. I had a bullet that was in my body. I wanted to get removed, and just some other, I had a slice across my back and some other shit. And in the words of the late great Richard Pryor, once again I have cheated death. Death came knocking. I said, get the fuck out of here. I'm busy. I woke up from the general anesthesia and I said, oh shit, I'm here again. I filmed a lot of stuff. Just give me some time. I'll get it posted this week. A whole bunch of game goofy people texting me, calling me, yo, I'm gonna pray for you. Pray why? That ain't gonna do shit. We'll talk about that later, okay? Okay, area code 914, good evening. Jamaica, is it still a plantation? Respectfully, 914. Are you there? You ready?
Good evening. 2 times in 1 month, aren't we lucky?
Is this Lady Di?
Of course it is. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Star.
Wonderful to hear your voice. I saw this video of Janine, who's one of the best publicists I know. She sent me this video. Are you up to speed? If so, please educate me. Jamaica, is it still a plantation, Lady Di?
I was there in July.
Okay.
And yes, It absolutely is. It's just a rollover from the colonial controls, you see. Because once, the colonial controls have supposedly left, then you have those to take the place of said colonial controls. So that's what's going on. The government, they are an atrocity. Okay? They always have, and it's hard for that to change. Because, just like here, even though you have your two-party system, it's all one philosophy, basically, one mindset. So the same thing is kind of like there, power, control, that sort of thing. When you have power, you have, corruption. So there's that.
If I can jump in for a second, and guys, this is Lady Di. She's a day one from the Star Chamber back in the days. And you already know, Lady Di, I have a fondness, and I say this respectfully, with regards to educated Jamaican gals, such as yourself, So I'm not here to troll and kick in the backs of Jamaicans. I've never been to Jamaica. I would like to go one day to Trenchtown. I find this to be very sad that 20% of the population has no land titles. This Beach Control Act from 1956, why is this still in place? This is insanity in 2023 going into 2024. Please.
Because, again, like I said, it's just a rollover from the colonial time. They put the people in place that they wish to be in place, not who will do great for the country or the people. You know what I mean? So it's the powers that be that put the powers that in be in charge, you see, just to keep that, that control, like I said, and that power and that revenue. Just to quickly graze upon the highway and the Chinese and all that sort of thing. Even though they always were there, it's been a really serious land grab at this point. It's been an increase of their infrastructure concerns, well, not concerns, but their concentration, I should say, as well as land. Now, I want to say this. There's a saying, the man that owns the infrastructure owns the land. Because when you own the infrastructure, you have the country or that land in the palm of your hand, don't you? Because that's the roads, that's the bridges, that's the so on and so forth. Yes, it's technically 1 to 2 highways, but what I've heard, now I'm saying I've heard this, that when they were looking to build, they actually leased, if you will, a long-term lease on either side, the land on either side of the highway. So think about that. Okay? Because, when it comes to Chinese and their business sense, they're not thinking just that building. They want the land around it. They want, whatever they control within that particular area. So there's that. Basically speaking, they have the people in a chokehold. The education system they've got very smart people, but again, because of them wanting to keep the people down and in control, so therefore the educational system as well is not as great even as it used to be. Their grandfathers and people that have grandfathers now and their great grandparents were technically a lot more educated than they are now.
If I can jump in, and you see that's what I always respected about not just Jamaica, but different parts of the West Indies. I have family from St. Kitts and Dominica. My family from St. Kitts used to own a newspaper back in the 60s. So I'm not trolling to be malicious, but I find this to be very sad. But now let me ask you something here, based upon the knowledge that I've acquired over the years. But again, I've never been to Jamaica. Does the IMF play a part in this? The International Monetary Fund, or is this something?
Well, there you go, right there.
Is this just private investors and corporations, or is this something different? I don't know.
Well, there you go, right there. That's also another problem,
Okay.
isn't it? And aren't they?
Okay.
If there's one organization that's a problem, it's them. You know. Yes, Jamaica took some money.
Millions.
So you know what that means.
Billions.
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. So that's it for Jamaica, really. You know, they're just totally still under control. I mean, it's amazing to see, but to know the country that it is, because you could say that is the island out of all the Caribbean that's really put the Caribbean on the map.
Yes.
You see.
Yes.
And to know that the percentage of people that really can't basically read, not to be disrespectful at all, these are my people
Right.
at the end of the day.
Right.
But basic reading, basic spelling it's amazing to see, to know how many people cannot basically read or spell, but they do that for a reason. Even traveling here. You travel here, you can spend 6 months, then you go back. You cannot come back to America for another minimum 6 months again. So even if you came here, did a little something, made a couple of dollars, they want to make sure that you spend every dime there, not be able to go back and generate any more, you know, revenue for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, they keep the people under control. But like that former caller said, there's something about this culture, and I think we want to call it an overseer's culture. It's like an overseer's energy, where it's what they call bad minds. It's where one person hates the other, and it's a general energy that Jamaicans generally, and I'm saying generally, have, where they just hate to see the other man doing halfway well.
Right.
So that's like an overseer's culture. So that's also, even with the prime minister at top, he doesn't want to see the people do well. The people don't want to see their neighbor do well. The neighbor doesn't want to see their brother do well. The brother. Do you see how that works?
Yeah. If I can jump in for a second, Lady Di, it's been many years since I've even looked at the list of plantations in Jamaica, but back in private school in the 70s, I did a report on Jamaica. I was maybe 10 years old at the time. So I went back earlier today and I looked at Cornwall County. These are some of the places that had a lot of plantations. Cornwall County, St. James, St. Elizabeth, Middlesex County, St. Anne, St. Mary. There were a lot of plantations in Jamaica. I don't think people really understand the history there with how long this island has been colonized. Yes.
Right, and itself, it was at one point called the Jewel of the West Indies, because for some reason that land is so fertile and rich.
Rich, yeah.
Exactly.
Rich.
So, anything from coffee to anything you could possibly think of that you can grow from the ground up, you can grow it there, and you can probably grow it with better nutrients, generally speaking, there, which is, again, also why they do not want the people to own land, to cultivate their own revenue, because they do have the grounds and the environment to do so. But they're not even giving them the slightest chance to be able to do so. Yeah. You see.
If I can also jump in and say this, that used to be the reality, but somewhere around 2001, I watched a documentary called Life and Debt, and it spoke about how most people in Jamaica drink powdered milk, how 80% of the food is imported from Miami. It gave a great breakdown of the pineapple and the banana industry that comes in from other places. They don't even grow that stuff there anymore. So
because they will not let the people grow it. Can you believe that?
Right.
They won't let them grow it, and that is some of the best land to grow these type of
so
produce.
It literally is. It literally, and correct me if I'm wrong before you go. It literally is just it's becoming an island for resorts and tourists, and the beaches are shrinking. Last time I checked, I don't even know what's to come in the future. But please finish up. I appreciate the call as always, Lady Di.
Thank you. Yeah, all I have to say at the end of the day, if it wasn't for my British passport, well, I like to say my English passport, and my English driver's license, that gave me the free, run of the place, because you could say I look like them, you know what I mean? Right. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had the privileges that I have over there, which is a sad thing to see.
Right.
But again, it boils down to us. We as black people, we have to stop allowing them to change our mindset and realize that even if a man next to us has something, we cannot then try to take it or begrudge them. We have to basically nurture it, because then that hand can wash this hand.
Right.
And once we get there again, we'll be okay. But until that point, he's got a little chain, I don't, I want it. So that's what's going on over there.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
Lady Di, wonderful.
There we go.
Wonderful speaking to you, and I hope that we talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
Take care. All right. Lady Di, for those of you who were with me when we first started doing the Star Chamber, what was that, 2014? Oh, she used to call in with some great information. Imperial, I got your donation. A random buck-toothed, blue-eyed German freak who just finished a 2-week-long meth binge told Crime Skills that he owns the beach, and Crime Skills believed his every Caucasian word. Crime Skills, I had to restart the show, sir. If you want to call back, I welcome your education, your knowledge. I had to restart the stream. Imperial sent in 2 donations. Thank you, Imperial, okay? Guys, sit tight on the phones. I see you. Blade, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Okay, here's Blade. Blade is always at my neck. So, Star, you fixed the bullet scars that the Dominican gave you back in the early 80s. Well, I had a bullet still in me, in my leg, Blade. I mean, I've never had a limp, but I'm 59 now, so I said, let me get this goddamn bullet out of me. And thank you for your donation, Blade. Thank you so much for always, pocket watching. Hey, Janet, I get your donation. Okay, thank you, Janet. World Peace, I got your donation. Are you tapping in? So where is area code 267? I don't see you on the line. I'll come back and check. Thank you so much, 267. CVR, sit tight, CVR, I see you, sir. Kingston says, I live in Portmore, and Hellshire Beach. Is it Hellshire Beach? Is free. Okay. That's good to know, sir, because the research that I have here says that there are 74 public beaches, and most of those beaches, the natives or locals cannot use the beaches due to the Beach Control Act of 1956. But thank you for your support, sir. Eamon, I got your donation. We need Rory to go in on that Jamaican bati. Okay, thank you. Guys, the president, the man that some of you voted for, Joe Biden, called LL Cool J a boy. Are you up to speed? Do you care? Who's going to vote for this man again? Area code 626. Good evening, 626. Are you there?
Star, what's up? Y'all know who it is. CVR the Bard, a.k.a. the Vex Vagabond. How you doing tonight, Star?
CVR, good to hear from you. CVR, stay on topic. 2 topics.
Yeah.
Or Tasha K and Adam 22 have broken the internet. Are you up to speed? Where do you want to start?
Yes, I am. As you can see, I got a little bit of a calmer demeanor tonight. So today things are going to run smoothly with this conversation.
Come on.
Now, when it comes down to Biden and LL Cool J, Biden has no right to do this. He's overstepping boundaries. He's mentioning LL Cool J right now because as I recently did my studies on Jason Black's recent talks about what has occurred with Kamala Harris and how the Biden administration has been throwing her out to the public to try to secure and rein back in that black vote. This is why Biden's over here mentioning LL. You know what I'm saying? And it's
well, hang on a second, CVR. This took place at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's Phoenix Awards. So he was standing there, and he made reference to LL, or I think he said Larry or Leroy, and then he said that
Whoa.
he said that boy's got bigger arms than my thighs. So let's not go off the rails with Kamala Harris. Did you see the video? Can we start there of the president calling LL Cool J boy? Did you see it?
I did not see the video.
No, okay.
But from what I just heard from you, hell no. Okay. Like LL stands for Ladies Love Cool James. What the hell? This man has no right to speak on LL Cool J if he doesn't know who he is. And then to go and call him a boy. I know like a month back we were talking about, what was it?
All right, CVR, I want you to stay focused. If you didn't see it, that's fine. Any thoughts on my topic? Why can't Jamaicans access their own beaches? Have you ever been to Jamaica? CVR.
My opinion on that. As a person who married Caribbean before, I married a female from the island of VI.
Okay.
And when it comes down to, Caribbean women in general, Caribbean culture, I look forward to going over and visiting the Caribbean. But the problem with that is the fact that Caribbeans do not own their own land. I do see it as more like a plantation field, like, because I'm in Florida right now, and I see kind of like the same way that moves as well too.
CVR, have you ever been to Jamaica? Can you answer the question? You've been to Jamaica?
I have never been to Jamaica.
Okay. I appreciate the call. I have to get back to the show. I appreciate you.
All right, salute all
Thank you, CVR. It's good man. He spends Skrilla. He just has a little rough time staying on topic. I'm not sure if he smokes Sherm stick. I don't know. James, I got your donation. Star, is it safe to rent out my apartment in Allentown, PA to Puerto Ricans? Allentown, PA is a different place, man. I don't, renting out your apartment. Are you talking about some type of Airbnb, or do you mean like with a lease? I don't know what to say about that, man. But thank you for your donation, all right? Pervvis, I got your donation. Are you calling in, sir? Oh, Pervvis, the Jet fan. Pervvis, we need... Pervvis, is that you, sir? The Jet fan.
What's going on, Star?
Sir, what is going on with the Jets? Tell us that the quarterback is going to turn this thing around. I was rooting for him, man. Is it Zach Wilson, right? Zach?
Yeah, he's trash. He's trash. But I want to actually talk about the topic that you have going on right now about Jamaica.
Are you Jamaican, Pervvis?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in Jamaica.
Please.
I was born in Lioneltown, but I grew up in New York.
Let's go.
Like, this topic is, it's kind of close to me.
Okay.
But I was there like 2 years ago for my birthday.
Okay.
I was in the grill on the 7 Mile Beach. So, like, the 7 Mile Beach, it's actually free. Like, I've seen locals on there and stuff like that. So there's parts of the island where you can actually go, and it's free for the locals, but not.
Isn't there a curfew on that beach? Because I've never been there, but I got a bunch of notes. Isn't there a curfew on that beach?
A what?
A curfew on certain parts of that beach?
Curfew? No, I don't think so. Okay. So the 7 Mile Beach, it's free. It's like a long stretch where you can, like, there's different resorts and stuff.
Come on.
But there's certain areas that aren't free. Like, there's certain resorts that are like completely private property, and they like close off that section to people that's on the resort only. But yeah. I mean, in all the island of Jamaica, like, we're independent, but not necessarily. We're a constitutional monarchy. So, I mean, King George, or whatever the hell his name is, he's technically the head of state, and the governor general, he pretty much answers to the king. And then we have the prime minister, but You know, he runs
Do
the
you mean King Charles Pervvis? Not.
yeah, whatever the hell his name is,
Well,
man.
I mean, you know,
I really don't.
you're from Jamaica, sir. So listen, I'm looking for you to educate us. But now, hang on a second. There's a video in my community section that gives a great breakdown, and there are people in Jamaica right now. So there's lawsuits flying because most of those 74 public beaches are not open to the locals. I hear what you're saying.
I mean,
Hang on, I hear what you're saying. But the people are upset because people who rent out jet skis and boats, they can't earn a living. The goddamn minimum wage is roughly $85 per week. And this Beach Control Act from 1956, it's still in place. So this
I mean,
is
there's
a
a lot of
harsh reality.
prehistoric laws.
Come on.
There's a lot of prehistoric laws that's still, you know, in Jamaica right now. So I mean, that's how it is. It's like I don't like it. You know, I wish this country was a republic by now, but you know, it still hasn't happened. They've been talking about it since like 2015, and it still hasn't happened. And to be honest, they actually gave out reparations for that whole entire slavery. It was just not to the slaves. It was to the slave owners. And one of the prime ministers for the UK, I forgot his name, he was actually a beneficiary of that payout that the UK paid all of its slave owners back then.
Okay.
So they gave out reparations already. Reparations will never happen. Jamaica is still a constitutional monarchy. There will always be a constitutional monarchy. The government's in shambles right now. There's so many stuff going on. So, I mean...
Pervvis, can I ask you a question with all due respect? And again, I've never been to Jamaica. Are they still wearing the white wigs in some of the courts? Do you have black Jamaicans wearing the white wigs?
Yeah, that's a part of the tradition out there. It's quote unquote tradition. That's why they still do it. And I really don't get how you have, you know...
Stop.
People still wearing these
Pervvis, please just hear me out. So there's still mental enslavement going. And again, I'm not trolling, kicking people's backs, and I have a lot of respect. I have a history of great relationships with Jamaican people. I ran with their shower posse. You know this. But why are they still wearing the white wigs in some of the courts? The fuck's
tradition,
up with that?
That's why. Just like how the king is still the head of state. It's tradition. Oh, he don't do anything. He don't have, quote unquote, any powers, but, you know, he's still the head of state because of, you know, tradition. Going back to the colonial days, they want to hold on to that shit.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay. Pervvis, I appreciate you.
That's all it is.
Anything by way of football? Not that you only have to talk about the Jets. Anything else that we should know about? Did you see the Deion Sanders team get stomped out?
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, like it's so hype. I'm not really into that. But the Miami Dolphins, though, man, they got the best team in the NFL right now.
Okay.
That offense seems unstoppable.
Okay.
It really does. Speed kills,
right.
And it's showing.
Thank you for calling, Pervvis. Thank you.
No problem, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Okay. Pervvis tapping in. Folks, I have a lot of, I think, even more respect for Deion Sanders now. Deion Sanders. They used to call him Neon back in the days. Such a great sportsman. Anybody want to call in and comment on how he and his son, Shador, spoke post-game after the loss? Classy. I'm still rooting for them, as I'm sure many people are, not just for the team, but for what he's doing for college football. Just had to say that, okay? Guys, phone lines are open if you want to call in and talk about Jamaica. Rakim, I got you donation. Salute. I thought you almost died, nigga. That's what he's saying. Well, sir, I did die decades ago. You're looking at a hologram. Oh, can I just tell you guys for a second? One of the nurses, a Karen, when I was sitting in the intake, section of the hospital, she noticed my white teeth. Now, most of you guys know I bleach my teeth. These are my teeth. I bleached them with the Glow Kit. So a couple of nights before I went to surgery, I put the gel in, put in the tray. You can see it on my IG page. She's complimenting my teeth. She said, "Oh, are those your teeth?" I said, "Yes, they're mine. They're not veneers. They're not dentures. These are my teeth, And I'm just saying that to say this, fellas, females are always looking in your mouth. What you're wearing, a watch, your shoes, the sneakers, all that's cute. But they're looking in your mouth. If you take care of your teeth, you're, trimmed and, that's what they like, They don't give a fuck what you're driving. She noticed my teeth and just... Anyway, Rondell got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Okay. Let me go to area code 347. Hang on a second, guys. Wait. Something's going on here with my... Hold on. Did I hit the wrong button here? 347. Are you there? Good evening. 347. Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
All participants.
Uh-oh. Do I have to reset my phones? This happens once in a while. Hold on. Jeez, don't tell me this is... Area code 347, you there? Sunday evening, 347 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Got to keep it pushing. Let's try area code 413. Are you there? 413.
Yes.
Yes,
sir. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Wagwan.
Wagwan. Are you Jamaican or Jafacan? What are you, sir? We're talking about...
I'm Jafacan. Okay. Nah, I'm Jafacan.
Come on.
I'm not calling up about that topic. I'm calling about Sleepy Joe, man. We got to get him up out of here. Sleepy Joe was out of pocket. Way out of pocket for calling LL Cool J boy and destroying his name. LLJ Cool J. What is he smoking? This is the second time he called a person, a colored person of notoriety boy. In February, he called the mayor of Baltimore boy.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
In February 2023, he called the mayor of Baltimore boy. Like, come on. He has a problem. And then to double down on what Biden said about his arms being big like thighs, that is like master slavery talk. He was referring to him as an object of a person, not of talent, of the way of the white masters.
Cattle.
If when they were picking them.
Cattle, if you will.
Yeah.
Cattle.
Yeah. Biden is out of pocket, man. Come on. If whoever votes for him in 2024, let's get them out of here too. Like, come on. Like, this is a disgrace to America right now. Like, this guy is damn near on his deathbed. He's like a breath away from a stroke or a casket.
Yeah. But now, hang on a second. Keep it real. Did you vote for Biden? I voted for Trump twice. Did you vote for Biden?
No, I voted for 45, and I'm gonna vote for 45 again. I voted for 45. I voted for Trump.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to vote for 45 again. He's I don't know. I don't know, but I definitely think that Biden needs to go. And don't forget, he told Charlemagne, vote for me, you're not black.
Exactly. He's wilding. He's wilding out. And just to double down on what that.
Come on.
Just to double down on what that caller said earlier about Miami being the hottest team right now.
Okay.
They beat Russell Wilson and the Broncos today, 72-20. The NFL score was 72 or 70-20. They scored 70 points.
Oh my God!
In an NFL game. That was the fourth largest NFL game.
Left-handed, Florida Boy J, where are you? 70 points.
70 points they scored on. Tyreek Hill, I think, had like 5 touchdowns.
Oh my God!
Tua was off the hook. Yo, they have the fastest offense in NFL right now. That no one can stop them. I think they got next week, big powerhouse against Buffalo Bills. Big game.
Okay.
Big game.
Wow.
But yeah, man. I don't got nothing to say about yards. Yeah, but Biden, get him up out of here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Thank you. Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. I feel like talking tonight. David D. Cordova, do you want to call in, David? That's one of my sponsors, guys, in my community section. David has a new book, and I want you folks to check it out. Let me get the information on the screen. David, we just reposted your banner. I have not read your second book yet. However, this is David's YouTube channel, and the book is titled Decoded 2, The Secrets of the Lord. Paperback, okay? He also has a Kindle edition. Decoded 2, The Secrets of the Lord. His first book, I really enjoyed it. You guys have heard me speak with him in the past. He's called in. He's from the UK, all right? Check out that man's platform. Tell him I sent you, okay? Also, I want to reiterate that salute to this young man, Spencer. I'm not sure where he's from, but he gave a great breakdown with regards to DJ Envy and Cesar Pina. Scamming! I urge you to not only watch the video, but just take notes. I saw some of you send me emails, yo, they're not giving you no credit. I'm not looking for credit on this. Again, I have a 501c3. I do work behind the scenes. There's a lot of things I'm not looking to get credit for. This young man took the time. He did a great breakdown, research. This is about, scamming. This is about, playing on people who are hardworking, people that have been under the delusion that these bozos cared about, the business transactions. It's just really sloppy and messy. But again, salute to this guy. If you think that you have been scammed, reach out to me. I do work with my 501c3. I can help you get a lawyer. I can show you how to do other things by way of legal means, okay? So I'm not looking for any acknowledgments. Tony the Closer, this was his story. He came out the gate with this. You guys know the story. He then pulled back. He took all of his videos down. He kept it pushing. I then jumped in, started calling the Department of Justice, the feds, the FCC, and the people that came to me. I said, hey, never mind interviews. If you're serious, let me try to get you a lawyer. This is not just a RICO case right now, but there's other things by way of securities fraud, not just scamming, but if you ever sent anybody, Cesar Pina, DJ Envy, his wife, any money, we're talking wire fraud. And you have to file an FCC complaint. Let me just make sure that I write this down. Sit tight on the phones. That's the most important thing. An FCC complaint. Do not let iHeart off the hook, okay? Area code 347, are you there? Good evening. We're talking about Jamaica and the sad reality that the locals cannot use the beaches. Are you up to speed? 347.
Yeah, I'm definitely up. Yeah, what's going on, Star? What's going on?
How are you, sir?
I got relaxed on the algorithm, or can I talk normal?
Well, I mean, if you don't need to use profanity, sir, we're having a good discussion. We can get messy if you like. Tasha K and Adam 22 have broken the internet. Where do you want to start?
Okay, we can start with the Jamaica I just came back from Jamaica roughly about 2 weeks ago. Beautiful island, pretty beaches. The natives are nice, but man, they rely heavy on the tourists. I mean, like really bad. Like it's so bad that I went to this place called River Dun, and we went to the water raft. We went and climbed up the mountains and everything. After we had a beautiful time, beautiful scenery, it seemed like the locals, like they sell their souvenirs or their gift shop. And I was kind of like, all right, I don't want to buy anything, whatever. It's like they was like pressing, harassing to buy it. And I told one guy, I'm like, I'm all right, I don't want it. And one of them was like, come on, man, well, you don't want to buy it with the blood clot. I said, whoa, bro, like, you need to relax. They're fine and about to get to the end of the destination. I guess one just persuaded my wife just to buy a little gift boutique, whatever. And for like $20, give me like a sob story, for my 4 children and so forth. And I was like, whatever. So I just gave it, just as a kindness in my heart and fine. But fast forward, the people is like they live like very, very poor. Like as far as like depending on the tourists, like everything is the tourists. Everything. Like from taxi, from the resorts, it's like everything. That's all you see. Resorts. Right, and the education system is like horrible. When I say horrible, I mean horrible. I see kids outside the road that have like a local public transportation, like a bus supposed to pick them up. Mm-hmm. They're out on the road in the street. God forbid, it's some type of pedophile. Pedophile just come and grab her, snatch them up. It's like, it's just crazy. And then you expect that a country have natural resources and they have everything, but they living below poverty. It's really bad.
If I can jump in and stay with me, because we've been having a good discussion here with regards to this topic. It's not a trending topic, but the education in Jamaica used to be very, very top tier once upon a time, and when I first moved to New York in the early 80s, I mean, and not to keep rehashing things, but when I was hanging out with the Shower Posse guys, some of them who were educated in Jamaica, we could really vibe on certain things that they learned, that I learned in private school. So the education at one point in time, I'm not sure when it started going downhill, was very elite. Because in Jamaican schools, they used to teach them about world history. And I mean, we had great discussions. I mean, of course, we were doing some very vile shit to people. I was on coke, but
He's on that line, huh? You got 2 or 3 lines, huh?
Sir, I was on 8 balls. Pause. It was like 8 balls. But we're on the train. Listen, we're on the trains. We're riding out to Lefferts Boulevard, Pelham Parkway, and we're talking about science, philosophy, and religion. I said, holy shit. Anyway, so the point is, it's different now. Again, I've never been there, but I'm shocked that I didn't know about this Beach Control Act of 1956. When I heard about that in this video that's in my community section, I said, holy shit. Now, let me ask you this. As someone who went to Jamaica, and now knowing, or if you didn't know already, or maybe you did know, do you feel kind of bad being a tourist, going to resorts and places where the locals can't even go? Does that make you feel any type of way?
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel away a little bit, but they like I said, they depend heavy on tourists. Like I mean, literally everything. It's so bad. I'm not trying to downplay it, but sometimes I feel like they like scavengers. I'm like, oh, like you need to relax, like chill. I'm in a hotel resort in Rio. And they grab my bag and they looking at me like, listen, you know what time it is. Like, you better tip me. You better grease my palms. I'm like, whoa, all right, I got you.
Are you from New York, sir? Where you from? Where you from, sir?
I'm from New York.
Okay. Let's keep it G. If in your heart of hearts you want to say, fuck them, respect the jokes, go ahead and say it.
Oh, you felt it? Yeah, fuck them motherfuckers. That's how I felt it one time. Excuse me. But back
no, sir. Don't say excuse me. Say fuck them. Respect the jokes. We got problems here in America. Fuck out of here. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what's so messed up about it over there? I didn't know when I came to find out about the highways. They built a big construction highway. I think going from the local Kingston and going to like the major highway. They lease the lands from the Chinese. So what happened is that they don't get no type of revenue from the tolls for the Chinese for the next 30 years. And the fact of the matter is that that the Chinese is collecting taxes, whatever, and they saying that if they forfeit on the loan on the highway, they have the right to take over. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then the thing about it, when I spoke to a local Jamaican, he said that wasn't implemented. They said that's a lie. So there's a lot of trickery going on there as well too, as far as the education system, the political system, and it's just that it's so sad that pretty much, like you said, the local natives don't even have a hand or any type of control of their country. And the only people.
Well, sir, you've already said fucking respect the jokes. So in reality, maybe they sold each other out. Respectfully, maybe they sold each other out. Right?
I agree. I definitely agree.
Well, no, I've never been to Jamaica. If that's what you want to say, fuck them. They sold each other out. Niggas sell each other out every day. Fuck them coconuts. Come on, where you going? Finish up.
All right, well, in other words, people say fuck them coconut ass niggas.
Okay.
But
thank you, sir.
At the end of the day, hello?
Thank you. You finished? You finished?
Oh, I thought he was going to jump on the other topic, but all right, yeah, all right.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, all right. I'm trying to put a rational, spin on this, but if it's not, just call it and say it was Star. Fuck them niggas. We got our own problems. Throw babies, yes, no? Niggas can't even rent out jet skis. You can't even rent out jet skis. You born and raised in Jamaica. You imagine a nigga in Spanish Town trying to rent out a jet ski? But put your hands behind your back. What do you think this is? Maurice, I got your donation. Salute to supporting the machine. Thank you, Maurice. Okay. Area code 718. Good evening. This is not a trending topic. However, I want to be educated. Are you there? 718.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Star?
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
This is Andre Tattoos.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. It's cracking.
Yeah. How's it going? Yeah, I'm going to Jamaica this weekend. This weekend coming. My grandmother just passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
So I gotta go down there to go bury her.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I mean the topic of Jamaica. The thing about the education system out there is you have to pay. You have to pay some type of fee all the way from like beginning school all the way into like college. So if you can't pay school, right? If you can't pay for like your books or whatever, you don't go to school. There's no like, public school for everybody. No, it is like I went to Spanish Town Primary, and you have to pay. So there's some kids that, I mean, the poor population has always been there, but it's grown over the last 40-something years because the population grows and so forth and so on. But so and what's happening now? All these, the government, sold out the people, and some of the only ones that do have power there are the landowners. Like my family. My family has land there, but it's in the countryside. It's not like it's in like Spanish Town or Kingston or anything like that. We're more in the St. Anne. We're in the hills. That's in the area where like Bob Marley's at. It's harder to get up there for like large corporations. But the corporations that do go up there would be like people that buy sugarcane or coffee. Like Japan buys the most coffee in the West Indies.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, hang on a second, Andre, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I've never been to Jamaica, but there's not a lot of, things being manufactured in Jamaica anymore. I mean, again, back in 2001, there was a documentary called Life and Debt, and 80% of the food in Jamaica is imported from Miami. So are they really growing anything in Jamaica anymore? I mean, they've been drinking powdered milk for decades. There's not like, thousands or a million goats in Jamaica. It's not reality, right?
I mean, it's honestly the locals. The locals, if you have land, then you're growing your own crops and you're doing your own thing and you're selling it to like small markets. But like, let's say if you live in the larger places like Kingston or Spanish Town, then you're most likely buying your groceries from like places like, from America or wherever,
Miami to be
Miami.
Precise. Yeah. That's where all of your pineapples and your bananas come from in Jamaica. Most of them, Miami.
Yeah, and Jamaica is a colony. It's what Marcus Garvey was preaching back in the day. He kind of foresaw it. He also understood sales and numbers, theoretical numbers. And so like if most Jamaicans will have to leave Jamaica if you want to survive. If you don't own land there, you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna either have to go to somewhere or because it's just the system is starting to slowly squeeze the people out. Luckily, my mom came up here when I was young and sent for me. But there's only there's a handful of people in my family who've already left Jamaica, and they got citizenships here, and they're working. They have their own. But everybody in my family up here have their own business because it's kind of like a thing to do. If you're working for a corporation, you're gonna get fired sooner or later.
Okay.
So yeah, it's what's happening in Jamaica right now.
Well, hang on a second, Andre. If I can just say this. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the great swindler Marcus Garvey, who you just mentioned, who never who never ever set foot in Africa.
Very true.
He was not banned from Africa after he got deported from the U.S. back to Jamaica. They then ran him out of Jamaica. The kids were throwing rocks at him when he would walk up the goddamn streets. So right? That's what happened to Marcus Garvey. So he then packed. Well, hang on. He then packed his shit and moved into London. They ran him out of Jamaica after he got sent back from deported from the USA. They ran him out of Jamaica.
Yeah, I do believe in that. That did happen, but I think one of the things that he preached against a system that the system you talk about, that if you control a place, you have the power, and so he was, in a way, and he was trying to say, if you're still here, you're still a slave. Jamaica is somewhat mentally enslaved. It still is. Like you said, the courts have those white wigs, the syphilis wigs. You know what I'm saying? So it's and honestly, it's a system that like is happening to all the places in the Caribbean. They're like the power is slowly taking them back, and that's just it. They sold them out. It's a colony. I'm personally going back to Africa. Honestly, I'm gonna retire in Africa. I'm out.
Good luck. Good luck. Hey man, I respect you. I appreciate you, man. Condolences. You say you're going back to bury your family. Condolences, man. And guys, in my community section is a banner for Andre's incredible full body tattoo work. Yes, Andre?
Yes, it is, sir.
Yeah. Hey man, thank you for your call. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.
You too. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Marcus Garvey. What was the name of the agent that sold him out in America, up in Harlem? Was it Agent 800? Hang on a second. What was that nigga's name? Marcus Garvey bought a big-ass rusty boat. Hold on. Garvey. Agent. Was it 800? Okay. Although he was seeking evidence of activities during the Red Scare of 1919, Jones' work led to the arrest and trial of Garvey on mail fraud charges. While conducting his surveillance, Jones adapted the code number 800. Yeah, Agent 800. So salute to that FBA agent. What was? Hold on a second. Was his name James? James Jones? Guys, give me a second. I learned this shit in private school in the mid-'70s. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he got Marcus Garvey the fuck up out of here. Talking about, I'm buying a boat and we going back to Africa. Nigga ain't never even been to Africa. Fuck out of here. Who sent it a donation? New Jersey Max, salute. Just tuned in and read the show running answer. They are still mourning their queen. Yeah. No. Clinging to the bars of Buckingham Palace. No, don't take Lady Di. Take me. Take me instead. I should say that on the radio. Hustle, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Star, like you always say, respect the jokes. Caesar Pina should be giving seminars to these low-level scammers on how to make the bag. Don't hate the player. Okay. 1051 fam says Jamaicans need to elect patriotic businessmen to run the country. No more greedy career politicians. Use the Trump blueprint. Us first. Guys, at the top of the live chat is the PayPal information. If you don't have Cash App, you want to support the machine. I can't answer every phone call, okay? So your donations are appreciated. Your donations are tax deductible, okay? Tax deductible. Hang on a second, okay? David is tapping in. Thank you, David D. Cordova. He says, thanks for everything. Appreciate the shine. Okay, it's helping the channel grow. Yes, David, amen. Guys, again, here's David's information. Subscribe to this man's channel. He is a very knowledgeable person, and his books, Decoded and Decoded 2. Believe me, you won't be sorry, okay? His second book is called The Secrets of the Lord, okay? There's a Kindle edition, paperback. You can go on my community section. You can order the book. You can reach out to him. He and I were talking about the Ethiopian Bible briefly here a couple weeks ago. And we're having a good discussion this evening. This is not a trending topic, folks, but I do want you to chime in if you have knowledge. And again, this is not to clown or disrespect people in Jamaica. They've been great to me. Great to me, you know? Although I will say that, I've always said Haitian coochie is the best coochie in terms of West Indian coochie. So, but Jamaican women, the ones that I've always dealt with, highly educated. So the topic, why can't Jamaicans access their own beaches? I'm asking the question, is Jamaica still a plantation, all right? If you're just now tuning in, we gave some facts. Yes, you know, Jamaica gained their independence in 1962, but the Beach Control Act of 1956 and the sad reality that 20% of the population has no land titles. And we're talking about why they, are not allowed to be on the beaches. I think it's sad. I think it's prehistoric, if you will, okay? Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 929. Good evening. It's Sunday. We're having a discussion. Are you there? 929.
Yes.
Hey.
Hi, Star.
Hey, who am I speaking to?
Well, caramelized sugar.
Hey.
So that's my name.
Good to hear from you. Where do you want to start, girl?
Good to hear from you too. I've been listening to you since I was like in middle school. So
easy. It's a little crazy.
I'm just saying. I want to give you your flowers. Come on.
Well, thank you. We've never met. Well, slow it down. We've never met.
No.
Let's go.
No. No. Okay. When I used to listen to you in the morning, that's
on the radio in a different county, but
on the radio with the Star and Buck Wild.
Right.
That's nuts.
What's cracking, girl?
I'm grown.
Come on.
So I don't want to be too. I don't know the full detail, but I just wanted to, touch on the topic of Jamaica.
Please.
Being half Jamaican and Trinidadian, I've always heard for years, not for years, but I would say for a couple of 5 years now, I've always been hearing that.
Can I ask you to say small hats? Say small hats, because these algorithms are like really, really, making it hard for content creators. Just say small hats.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Just say
sorry.
small hats. Say small hats. Go ahead.
Yes. So, them. They take over. I heard Chinese. They taking over too. To the point that I would say, because I'm mainly Trinidadian and Jamaican.
Okay.
So I go to Trinidad often, and it comes to the point that Jamaicans are actually leaving Jamaica and going to different countries to try to make a better living for themselves, to the point that when they come to Trinidad, they come in boatloads. And I mean, my thing is with that is like, if you're going to come and have a living or whatever, conduct yourself a certain way, because they are coming and causing crime and starting some stuff in Trinidad too. So I feel like also the tourists, I feel like as I think you said it or somebody said it, that Jamaica is one of the biggest places that everybody loves to go to. Sadly, I've never been to Jamaica, but the way how this sounding, I don't even want to go, because I would like to jump on jet skis and stuff. And if I can't do that, what am I coming for? To see family? Nah, I mean, that's cool, but I want to have some fun. I want to go as a tourist as well too. And the way how I look, they probably might see me and be like, you look like you belong on the other side of the wall. So you in the wrong place. No jet skis for you, man.
If I can say this, and stay with me. I would feel kind of bad if I go to Jamaica and I'm in the resorts and other places and I'm interacting with the locals and the natives in a sense, and they can't even move about freely. I would feel kind of bad because, call me crazy, call me stupid. I've been traveling over the decades, and I like to go to the quote unquote slums, the hood. I'm just stupid like that. I like to interact with the people who are what I consider to be the fabric,
the locals,
the fabric.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying, of the soil, but I would feel weird, only dealing with people at the resorts. I know everybody's got a Kool-Aid smile because they want to make a fucking dollar. But if I want to really sit down and talk to somebody and eat some fucking red snapper and some rice and have a deep...
Some real jerk chicken.
Well, I like red snapper. And have a great conversation, I would feel weird knowing that I can't do that with locals. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense because one of my things that I always wanted to do when I do wanted to visit Jamaica is actually go to where my family is from and talk to locals and everything, because I do that in Trinidad. But the difference is because I grew up in Trinidad for a couple of years, so I'm comfortable walking around, even to the point that even my family, because the crime in Trinidad, this is a global thing. I feel like all governments, especially in the Caribbean, is getting real corrupted and taking the money from the government and not giving nothing to the country. Because it's the same issue that's happening in Trinidad, to the point my family always be worried to be like, why you just want to go and hang out and go in the ghetto? And it's like, because we are from the ghetto. Stop acting like we're not from the ghetto. Like, we're from the ghetto. So when
I'm not from the ghetto, but I mean, like, you know, I like to at least talk to the people who are, you know, again, the true islanders. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
In the Caribbean, they consider like the guy said in before, certain areas in Jamaica and certain areas is either the city, so that's a nice area where you could get better education and everything, and then you from what we say in Trinidad is you're from the bush, which is so-called like the ghetto. You're from the bush. You don't get as much opportunities. You don't, you know, to me that's false, because I went to school in Trinidad, and I feel like the education is the same thing with Jamaica, like what that caller previously was saying, how, they don't get that the education is bad. No. The education is awesome. You got to pay for your education. You got to pay for your books and everything. But the education in the Caribbean is on point. It's here in America that we kind of backwards.
Facts.
That's why some of the kids here cannot even have a full conversation or can't describe anything.
Right.
So,
listen, I don't mean to go too far back, but, you know, there was a girl who I used to pay her in cocaine. And she don't laugh. She was brilliant. She was from Jamaica, and I used to pay her in cocaine. She used to come meet me at my job, Warner Electric Atlantic, and we would go into Bryant Park, and she would literally read to me. We would go to the fucking library. She would read to me about certain things, you know, history and shit like that. And she was such a great reader. And we're sitting there tweaking, sniffing coke, but her education was fucking superior. What she learned in the 70s in Jamaica. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's one thing I would definitely take from being in the like growing up in the Caribbean. I see both sides in the education. My writing skills when I was like I would say in the 10th grade. Well, you know, when they give you those tests to see, like, what's your level of education and math, science, and all those, my writing, I was already writing in college level. Sophomore college.
SATs?
In the Caribbean.
Are those the SATs?
Yeah. Is it? I don't think it's the SAT. I don't even know what.
I'll Google.
Because, you know, sometimes they test you and they won't even tell you what it is.
Yeah, go ahead. I think it was SATs.
Yeah, as I said, it's like, honestly, I really do feel like, you know, Jamaica is getting bad, is getting worse. Even to the point, I feel like when the Queen did her little dirt nap, because I know you're on YouTube, they did her little dirt nap. I was surprised to hear a whole lot of Jamaicans crying and talking, oh my God, the Queen. Why do you care so much? What did she give you? Because if you give her a chance, she probably would have put you back with them chains and shackles. So why are you crying, talking about, oh my God, why is she gone? She didn't do anything for you. You're still struggling. You have to leave your country to go to another country. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like sometimes they need to actually.
Hang on a second. Stay with me. Stay with me. Yeah, it's called the SAT. The SAT is an entrance exam used by most colleges and universities to make admissions decisions. The purpose of the SAT is to measure a high school student's readiness for college and other yada yada. But yes, SATs. Well, listen. But before you go, I appreciate you calling in. Are you up to speed on the T? The T, Tasha K, Adam 22, shit is lit. She was clapping at Joe Budden on the gram. Adam 22, she then took the video down. Joe Budden called her. Hang on, Joe Budden called her. She said, okay, nigga, I'll take it down, but watch yourself. She took the video down. Then Adam 22 starts clapping at Joe Budden. Will Joe Budden clap back at Adam 22? Are you up to speed on the T? The T.
No, I'm not up to speed with the T. I'm definitely going to do my research and do my homework about that.
Child, it's messy. It's so messy.
I like the mess. I like digging in the mess as long as it's not my mess.
Don't
we
we all?
It.
Don't we all?
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
We do. That's why we on here. This is what the internet is, entertainment.
Facts.
If you're dumb enough to put it on the internet, it's entertainment for everybody.
Facts.
You can't get mad when we all know what's going on and we react to it.
Right.
Can I say one more? Can I say something about Shaky Joe before I go?
Well, listen, don't take shots because I don't do that. Joe's my guy. #1 podcaster. No ifs, ands, or fucking buts. But just
no, not that Joe. Not Joe. Not Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden.
Not angry Joe.
Joe Biden.
I'm talking about the man who tripped up the stairs 3 times. I don't know how you could trip upstairs 3 times. Tripping down is different. Tripping up, that's when I knew. That's what y'all voted for because I ain't voted.
Yeah.
Once I saw the options of what was supposed to be voted, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I know people be hiding and talking, oh my God. No, I didn't vote, and I don't have no problem saying I didn't vote because these same people who were sitting here talking about, oh, if you didn't vote, you shouldn't have no opinion or anything like that. Right. Now, all y'all people that voted for this man, how do y'all feel now?
Right.
How do y'all feel?
I appreciate the call.
Because I've been sort of BS. How you going to want to not vote for certain people because they was too old, Bernie?
Okay.
But you vote for this.
I got to go, darling. Thank you for the call. And what's your name again?
No problem.
What's your name again?
Caramelized sugar.
Good to talk to you. Thank you, dear. Take care. Bye now.
You too. Bye.
Bye now. In the words of Lovely T, this tea is piping hot. Tasha K got the internet on fire. Do you follow Tasha K on Instagram? She has got a future in stand-up comedy. Anybody follow Tasha K? She holds a microphone. She walks back and forth on the screen. I told her, I said, listen, if you do stand-up comedy, I'll pay to come see you. Oh my goodness. Joe Budden is my guy, but I'm staying out of that back and forth with Tasha and Joe. Jason Lee, young man, I don't know you, but you are doing the damn thing. You are one of the front runners. Yes, you are. You guys know Jason Lee? Hollywood Unlocked. Jason Lee, I say this with all due respect, young man. Whatever you're doing, my nigga, slow it down. I don't know if you're on anything, but Tasha K had that video of you again in her IG. Jason Lee was somewhere on the beach. He had on the straw hat, and he's like this. Anybody see that video? Oh, that's that good shit. That's that good shit. That's that good shit. Nodding. Foaming at the mouth. That's when you're coming down off of that binge, allegedly. Yeah. The internet is on fire. Tasha K and Adam 22. Tasha K took some shots at Clayface, a.k.a. Whack 100. Talking about his fat booty and some other shit. And salute to Adam 22. Adam 22 let Tasha K talk her talk. Can we just, focus on the T for a second? Adam 22 let Tasha K talk her talk. And then he started taking shots at Whack 100, but it was respectful. You guys up to speed? Yeah, Tasha K talking about the 3 fingers in the booty, allegedly. Nigga. You have to see the Tasha K Adam 22 interview. Now, I don't know what happened with her interview with Joe Budden. Supposedly, he didn't want to smoke with Cardi B, so he's not putting the interview out. And then Adam 22 goes on the gram and starts hella disrespecting Joe Budden. Now, here's what I need to know. where does my nigga Academics stand in all of this? Because Academics is talking about starting an award show with Adam 22 and who's the other person? Academics, Adam 22, and Vlad, my homie Vlad. Will Joe Budden clap back at Adam 22? Or will Queen's Flip jump out the window? Oh, folks, it's messy. It's so messy. Guys, also check out my sponsor on the screen, okay? Kai, NY007. Great, that's a great channel. Please go there. Tell Kai I sent you, okay? Pervvis, I got your donation. Pervvis says, go to Negril for the best seafood in the world. Okay, thank you. I see it different, Pervvis. I think Sammy's at City Island has some of the best. Sammy's has some of the best seafood, or Papa Do's. Oh, can I get some niggas from A-Town down, the ATL to chime in? That seafood at Papa Do's. That shit hit different, okay? Hold on a second, guys. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 917. Good evening, 917. It's a mess. Tasha K, Adam 22. Shit is lit. Are you there, sir? Are you there?
Hey, what's going on?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good, man. Let's crack.
Good. Yeah, so first things first, I want to speak on the Jamaica topic.
Please.
I grew up in Jamaica when I was young. Okay. I wasn't born there. I just stayed there as a kid, over the summers and whatnot. And the whole, privatized beach stuff, it's nothing new, man. This has been going on for quite some time, like generations. Like even my grandparents, who were born and raised there, they abided by those rules, even though it wasn't like specifically said out loud. Everybody knew that, those resort beaches were off limits to the locals. Mm-hmm. And, they just respected it. They went to their private beaches or, little small, the whole place is an island. It's kind of impossible not to run into water, but, they have their beaches. It's not manicured, but, it was kind of messed up that nowadays, they can't even make any money because for a majority of these people, man, that's their bread and butter. It's their livelihood. Yeah. But I'm not going to say I sympathize because, to be honest, the whole island's corrupt. From the politician down to the cats that's taking the luggage off the carrier at the airport, man. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's looking for a hustle. Everybody's trying to get they comeuppance off of anybody that comes around. So I could see why some of these private beaches stay private because, you spend all your money to come to an island and not to get hustled or finessed out of your money because some freaking malnourished person come up to you with their hand out. I ain't trying to see all of that, man. I'm just trying to enjoy myself at the beach, man.
Yeah. Now, hang on a second, sir. Are you yourself Jamaican? You said you went to school in Jamaica?
Yeah. I'm American, but from Jamaican descent, yeah.
Objectively speaking, and I've never been to Jamaica, objectively speaking, it bothers me that the locals cannot profit off of the fucking island where their families have shed blood.
Yeah.
If this were some other culture, some other ethnicity, the government would have upgraded the laws. When you spoke about, when you first called in, your grandparents and others adhering to, what was always known, you're talking about the Beach Control Act from 1956. Well, no longer does, England or the monarchy have any fucking power in Jamaica. So why not now update that Beach Control Act and let people earn a fucking living? Why not let them rent out hang on. Just let me get it all out. Mm-hmm. Why not let them rent out jet skis and boats and talk to the tourist and tell them about the stories of their ancestors, their forefathers, and things of that nature. It bothers me that they cannot do that. And I've never been to Jamaica. Please.
Okay, so to answer the question, the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to these privatized beaches is that corporations have taken over.
Yes.
You have Hilton, you have Marriott, you have even private corporations from Mexico. There's a resort that's ran by Mexico that have not even Jamaican workers, but actually Mexican workers there. You know what I'm saying? You have all these corporations that, they run lobbyists, and they make sure that these beaches remain private and remain out of the access of the locals. Because at the end of the day, the upkeep for these beaches aren't going to be paid by the locals. The upkeep for these beaches are going to be paid by the corporations that keep that island that keep money coming to that island.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then secondly, going back to the other topic that I had made mention of is the corruption. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, I love Jamaica, I love Jamaicans, but I'm going to be upfront and honest with you, man. When it comes to crime and scheming, these cats, you can't beat them. Yeah. I mean, it sucks that, the everyday hardworking person can't relax at the beach. But let me tell you something. As soon as they open up the beaches, crime's going to come in. And like you said, when it comes to some niggas, man, they just with the bullshit, man. They just bring the bullshit with them. You get what I'm saying?
If I can jump in, and again, this is the objective perspective. If I'm wrong, say, Star, you're wrong, and here's the real. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm trying to get an understanding of this, but I think it's sad. I don't know what is to come. I'm an older man. I would imagine you're much younger than me. What is the future for Jamaica? Is the future of Jamaica similar to what's going on in Hawaii? Most of those locals out there are pardon me, I don't know the exact numbers, but there's a lot of homeless people in Hawaii. Yeah. Natives.
Yeah.
Literally sleeping in certain areas in the woods and on the beaches. They can't even afford a goddamn apartment. Is that what's going to happen in Jamaica?
You know what? To be frank with you, man, it's already happening. I mean, that's what's going to happen to Jamaica. I mean, I don't know if you ever visited Aruba, but
I have not.
Aruba is almost the same.
I have not.
Well, Aruba is almost the same exact way. Where I mean, it's an even smaller island than Jamaica, and the locals, if there's any more there, they're only there just to work on the resort, and that's about it. But I mean, unfortunately.
Well, hang on. Here's what I do. Here's what I do know. Aruba and other places, the beaches are public. The locals can go onto the beaches. In Jamaica, for the most part, out of the 74 beaches, the locals cannot. So it's different in Aruba. They can go on the beaches. Okay. They can sell whatever. They can sell pussy. They can sell boy cunt. Whatever. Nigga start wilding.
I mean, listen. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it might not be as severe as Jamaica, but there's still an underlying rule that even if you were to sell on the beach, you probably have to have a permit, and getting that permit probably freaking costs an arm and a leg. So you're probably not even taking that much of a cut after you sell your straw hat. So it's like the issues messed up. But the only way that Jamaica is, honest to God, I mean, I don't even think it's even possible at this time. But the only way for Jamaica to get their ish together is to really get rid of that corruption, or at least try to reel it in, because the prime minister took.
What about a civil war? Or am I crazy? Huh? What about a civil war? Or am I crazy? If I'm crazy, say Star, you're crazy. Knock it off. Am I crazy?
No, you're crazy, because the civil war would be a bloodbath. It'd be one-sided. I mean, you have a bunch of people that could barely afford food, so how do you expect them to afford ammunition? Like, come on, man. Let's be realistic. I mean,
if niggas in Spanish Town, hang on. If niggas in Spanish Town even tried to get organized, the constables would come in and shoot them fucking dead, right? The constables. So for those who don't know, the police are called constables, right?
Listen, hey, like I said, man, as a kid, I saw those constables with gold chains around their neck with open Hawaiian shirts, man. Those boys run different. They run different. The corruption is just too deep. Yeah, the corruption is too deep. So, I mean, unfortunately, you know, if they're able to jump ship and go to another island, you know, good luck. But I mean, ain't not much going on for them. But about the whole
sir, hold on a sec. Hold on. I think that's crime skills. Crime skills, is that you, sir? 954. Crime skills?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sit tight.
Yes.
Stay there. I'm so glad you called back. Sir, I have to take crime skills call. Do you want to finish up, sir? I'll give you the last word. I have to get this man on the line.
It's all good, man. But yeah, keep up the good work, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hold on. Crime skills, I'm so glad you called back. I had a little issues with my broadcast earlier. We've had some time to talk about things. I think you know I'm serious here, and I'm not trolling. I'm genuinely concerned. You know, but again, I've never been to Jamaica. Where should we go with this conversation? What are your thoughts? And is Jamaica still a plantation? That's my overall question. Crime skills.
It's still. I've been listening. I had to wash my lock, so I've been listening. It's still a plantation, and earlier on when you said the IMF, I had to laugh. All right, this is the deal. This is for your listeners who don't know.
Come on.
All right. The CIA, the Mossad, the MI6, they plunge your country into hell, and then the IMF comes in as if they are the savior. In reality, no country on this planet owes the IMF a dime, because what they do, they coordinate with the special elite so-called security agencies of these from England to Israel, to America, to when they come to you with their proposal. If you say no, then they send in their hitmen, plunge your country or your island into a hole, and then the IMF comes in as the savior, acting as if they're the savior. No, that lady that said pertaining to the small hats taking over Jamaica. From 1580, a huge number of Sephardic small hats moved into Jamaica. They're not new into Jamaica. You see what I'm saying? People that do not know history, they're going to say, oh, the small hats are taking over Jamaica and this and that. It's not just them. It's deeper than that. And it's even the dude, when he was telling him about the white wig that they still wear in the court system. I'm going to let you understand this. And for those who, you know this, but for those who don't know, if you're enslaved spiritually, physically, in the physical world, you're nothing. You're still going to be in bondage. So with them using that, the white wig, wearing the white wig inside of the court system, they're trapped spiritually, and they don't even know it. And a lot of them, you can't even have the conversation with them. So like I said, I appreciate this. I appreciate the fact that you are bringing awareness to this. So whoever think it's not going to trend, when you speak on it, it's going to get attention. That I know. So like I said, I appreciate the fact that you bring this to light, to the forefront for people to get to understand what's really going on and stuff. And that's that.
If I can jump in and say this again, and salute to Janine. She's a publicist, guys, and Janine's banner is always in my rotation at the end of the broadcast. She's a very high-level publicist, for those of you who need a publicist. She sent me this link. I watched it, and I was familiar with things from the past, but I didn't know about the beaches now, and the new resorts and how they're closing off the beaches. I think it's insanity. There are new lawsuits. If you can keep us posted on the lawsuits, Crime Skills, I would be appreciative with regards to that. But yeah, I do want to visit Trenchtown one day. But this is pretty sad. And again, other islands in the Caribbean have access to their beaches. So do you think this will turn around at some point? This Beach Control Act of 1956?
I'm 100% sure if that don't happen, the direction in which the island is going, if it's not that, I'm down for the Civil War. I don't care how people want to look at it. You will never get no change without blood sacrifice. None.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? America has always used violence to get its point across.
Right.
They make millions of dollars off their serial killers in movie theaters, but when it's time for the black men to use violence, it's a problem. I condone it when it's necessary. Have a beautiful night, man. Respect every time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Crime Skills. Thank you. Okay, we're going to continue our discussion here about a topic that Janine sent me. Janine is a publicist, someone who I've known for quite some time. And if you yourself need a publicist, if you are a producer, record label owner, an entertainer, an athlete, she is one of the best literally in the game right now. She does a lot of corporate high-end work, but reach out to me if you need a publicist. If you don't have time to stick around to see her banner, I will forward her information to you, okay? But just don't go to her, broke with nigger pennies. Don't do that, okay? All right, we're going to continue our discussion here about this particular topic. Jamaica. Why can't Jamaicans access their own beaches? Okay, I'm asking the question, is Jamaica still a plantation? Not to be disrespectful, not to necessarily, troll anybody. Jamaicans, for the most part, have been great to me. Supporters, friends. I've had some great Jamaican snatch over the years. That's another word for coochie, snatch. So, we're talking about the 74 public beaches. We even touched on the $85 per week minimum wage average. Of course, most of you guys know about their independence in 1962. We've pointed out the Beach Control Act in 1956. Also, we pointed out 20% of the population has no land titles, okay? Chime in, if you will. Educate us. You can also call in and talk about Tasha K and Adam 22 breaking the internet in the last 28 hours. Or, just dropped my water. Or President Biden calling LL Cool J boy. The Black Caucus. Oh my God. Has LL Cool J responded? Troll babies and... Anybody got any updates? Any news? Has LL Cool J? He probably not going to say anything. It's Sleepy Joe. Hey, Shanice. Shanice, do you want to call in? I would love to hear some tea. Call in, Shanice. Phone lines are open. I've got a couple of calls here lined up, but I would love to hear, a tea sipper call in. Also, let me point something out here before I forget, in case you guys are not up to speed. A young man by the name of Spencer Cornelia did a very, very good detailed breakdown of the DJ Envy and Cesar Pina scam. Okay? If you or anybody that you know has been scammed by Cesar Pina, DJ Envy, Jennifer Pina, and you want to reach out to me, I do work behind the scenes. Everything I do is not, for YouTube. I have a 501c3. Let me help you with getting legal counsel, okay? Filing an FCC complaint, okay? laws have been broken with regards to soliciting for money by way of the airwaves, if you ask me. You guys have heard me speak in the past. You cannot accept any gifts if you're a radio personality and or DJ. We used to sign papers back in the days, payola papers with regards to the FCC, and you cannot solicit or get people involved in any type of Ponzi schemes or things of that nature. So if you are filing lawsuits against Cesar Pina, DJ Envy, you should sue iHeart Radio as well. Okay, let's go to area code 539. Good evening, extended show. Are you there? 539 on a Sunday.
Boss Hog, what's going on, man?
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
Hey, what's happening, man? Real quick, I'm full-blooded FBA, but you know what I'm saying? I, study melanated culture all across the globe, you know what I mean? And
okay.
I want to say shout out to the Jamaicans for sure, the real Jamaicans for sure. I dated a sister from Jamaica some years back, you know.
Well, sir, we're not doing no shout outs, I don't do shout outs.
Right. My bad. But you know what I mean, man. You know what I'm saying? Full-blooded FBA. I got to throw that out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, one of the things that intrigued me about the Jamaican culture, I hadn't heard none of the brothers from Jamaica mention, was the Jamaican Maroons, man. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? They kicked a lot of butt. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think they made a mistake because they end up signing a 360 deal with the British, man. Yeah. I think it was in 1739, somewhere up in there, and it wasn't good, man. And I believe that's what led to what's going on today. You know what I mean? Like, have you heard of the Jamaican Maroons?
Yes, but now hang on a second. If you want to kick their backs in, feel free to. Don't think I'm preventing you. I'm being fair and objective for the most part. You feel me? But there are a lot of Jamaicans throughout decades, if you ask me, who always talk about, we got property back in Jamaica, we got fruit trees in the backyard, we got maids, that sounds hot. You feel me? But if you want to kick their back ends, let's go.
I ain't gonna kick the back end of the real riders, but to the tether class that be calling us FBA's Yankees and we lazy and all that shit.
Yeah.
Knock it off, man.
Yeah, Yankee boy, that pussy boy. Yeah.
Yeah, please knock it off. Don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I say, man, the Jamaican Maroons was kicking a lot of butt. I don't know what happened. I guess, that buffer class was doing some elite cooning, and they end up signing a deal with the British, man, to actually sell slaves. You know what I'm saying? Or take the people from
to sell each other out.
Slaves and shit.
To sell each other out.
Yeah, I didn't hear nobody mention that, and I respect the ones that was fighting back, but I guess they just kind of like how they did Garvey before all of that. The coons end up just taking over. You know what I'm saying? So to the tether class, you know what I mean, man. Relax with this and FBAs, man, because we never did sign a 360 deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm Maroons, so.
Well, let's keep it real, sir. Garvey was a scammer. He's a scammer. Marcus Garvey, scammer.
Oh, yeah.
Scamming ass nigga.
To a degree, you know what I mean?
Sir,
debate with you on that.
That nigga, he never been to Africa. He bought a big ass rusty boat. Big ass rusty. Talking about we going from Harlem to Africa. That's what he was talking about, right? I think he bought 2 boats, 2 big ass rusty boats.
I can't. I forget the name of the boat. It was a name. I know of it. Forgive me for being.
It's called the Scamming Princess. The Scamming Princess boat, sir. That's what the fuck.
I forget the name. And then he had a newspaper. You know what I'm saying? Like a nationwide newspaper or whatnot. Because they wasn't messing with him in Jamaica, man. They ran him up out of there with that pro-black shit.
That's what I said. I said that earlier. Anyway, good.
Y'all did.
Good. Yeah.
Y'all hit on that. That's the reason why, I had to bring up the Jamaican Maroons. I respected that until they ended up signing a 360 deal with the British, man, and kind of sold their own people out. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's what led to, like I say, what's going on today. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just want to throw
This boat was called the Circle Line. The Circle Line.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to throw that out there. Give the people something to think about on that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll end on this, man. I mean, are we really surprised about crime bill Biden? I mean, like, are we really surprised to hear him talk like that? Because a lot of people forget, like, in the 90s, he set out a crime bill for black folks here in America for FBA. We already know.
Right.
That's why FBA, we like, if you ain't talking about doing nothing for us specifically, we not even participating in the vote process, Star. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I end on this, Star, man. But, yeah, peace to the real riders of Jamaica and the tether class, man. Get your mind right. Stop coming over here trying to act like y'all just big dogs and shit. And appreciate you taking my call,
Yes,
Star.
sir.
I'm going to donate, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
you.
For
sure.
For sure. Okay.
For sure.
Thank you, sir. For sure. Hey, Pamela. Okay, you want my PayPal information? It's at the top of the live chat, darling. It's top of the live chat. Hold on a second. Give me a second. I'll see if I can. What is the PayPal? Starboyradio@gmail.com. At gmail.com. Give me a second. I'll put it on the screen for you. I appreciate your support. Now, this is not a trending topic tonight. I probably won't see any really good numbers or traction off of this title, but sometimes we have to do these types of shows so that we can all, inform each other, educate each other. I like these types of shows where I'm learning as well. Area code 415. Good evening. Are you there? 415.
Hello.
On a Sunday.
Area code 415. Hey, what's going on, Star?
Yes, sir. Can you turn that down in the background, please? Turn that down.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, man, man, I'm a big fan of your work, and I've been checking you out since the 2000s, late 90s, and stuff like that when you were doing like TV stuff.
I was not doing radio, sir, in the late 90s. I was not doing radio in the late 90s. I started doing radio in March of 2000. How can we help you, sir?
Yeah, 2000. Yeah. So just wanted to say, man, you was one of the guys that inspired me to do the radio thing and stuff like that. So just wanted to give you that shout out.
Okay. Are you addressing the topics, sir? The topics tonight?
No.
Let's get you the fuck out of here. I don't even have fans. I'm a fan. If you follow me, sir, I fans can, let me not waste my time. Oh, there he is. There he is. My main nigga on the trigger. So good. So good to hear from you, sir. Brooklyn Giggles, a.k.a. Theo. How are you, man?
Don't put out my government name.
Okay, pardon me. I'm sorry. Brooklyn Giggles. How are you, man? Sorry.
I'm good, man. How you doing, Star? Let's get to the topic.
Let's get to it. Where do you want to start, sir? Brooklyn Giggles.
Okay. LL Cool J situation. Man, I don't know why these rappers feel that they have to continue to entertain this liberal agenda. Like, this man can't even pronounce your name. He called you boy. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's just too much at this point. At this point, like, people get on Ice Cube for not being a Biden supporter, but come on. To mispronounce a rapper's name, I mean, you can't get any lower than that. Whoa. And he called him boy.
Yeah, that boy.
He called him boy.
That boy's got bigger arms than my thighs. Fuck.
Yeah, at this point, we all know that Biden there's no way he will run for president again. There's no way. The guy has Alzheimer's, allegedly. So it doesn't make sense for any rapper to really support this liberal agenda. I don't understand why they continue to do it. But anyway, let me get to the other topic.
Well, now hang on a second, because I have not gone to LL Cool J's IG page. I don't know if he even responded. I'm sure he took it lightly. President Biden is old enough to be like people's great grandfathers. So this was at the Black Caucus, the Phoenix Awards ceremony or something like that. He gave a speech. This man needs to be at home eating cheeseburgers through a straw. This is embarrassing, if you ask me. Yes? No?
It's embarrassing, but here's the problem, right?
Go ahead.
By now, they, the powers that be would have decided, you know what? I really would want the VP to take over, but nobody even trusts her to even take that responsibility. Nobody does.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. I don't care about what she did in California. Nobody wants Kamala to even touch the presidency.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is on that point. Like I don't even think at this point Joe even recognized his son was being investigated at this point. So yeah, that ship is sailed. But
didn't she lie one time? Hang on a second. I'm not a Breakfast Club watcher, but didn't she lie and say she was listening to Tupac in college, but come to find out she was like in her 40s when Tupac was rapping? She lied or some shit like that?
She said that she was listening to Tupac in the 80s, which is ridiculous because Tupac didn't really put out any music in the 90s.
Right.
So yeah, she was trying to do what every liberal that's trying to run for president does. Try to be it's like the time when Hillary Clinton had hot sauce in her bag.
Yeah.
The typical liberal agenda. But I gotta talk about this Tasha K and situation.
Let's go.
Joe dropped the bag. Joe dropped the ball big time. You let that white boy go, you let that white boy take advantage of that Tasha K interview, and he threw you under the bus. I'm telling you, that was a mistake. At the end of the day, you can't tell people, "Oh, I'm not industry," when you're protecting Cardi. You're protecting her. Oh, you don't like that she felt some type of way that you interviewed her, and you're talking about it's your job. It's your job to critique things. You're a former rapper, but you got a podcast. It's your job to critique anything that's a part of your agenda or today's topics. Star, I'm not trying to gas you up or anything like that, but this is why I respect your platform because you're friends to none of them. You're friends to none of them.
I got no friends.
And Joe tries to do the same thing, but he out here protecting Cardi.
Well, hang on a second. We don't know that to be true. Maybe there's some reasons why he decided to wait. Maybe he wasn't against putting it out, but maybe he wanted to put it out at the right time. I don't know. Joe Budden is my favorite podcaster. I've said that before. I'll say it again. Not that my cosign means anything. However, the him and Tasha K or Tasha K going at him. Woo! Whoo, chow. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Whoo,
I saw two. I saw the current one, and I saw the one from a couple of days ago. Like, listen, I feel Tasha.
It's messy.
She gotta do what she gotta do. She gotta do what she gotta do because Joe out here telling people that he's not industry. When you clearly are industry, you still industry. You still have relationships with these people. Sometimes people even question why he didn't want to critique Diddy's album the way.
Well, now hang on a sec. Hang on. I don't want to focus on Joe.
You don't want to attack Joe.
No. I want to stay focused on what happened. Adam 22 went at Joe hella disrespectful. Don't repeat it because I'm too old to be amping up the set, so to speak. I am addressing it, but I don't want to add fuel to the fire. Do you think Joe Budden will clap back at Adam 22?
Yep, you have to understand. This is easy for Joe. Joe can clap back at anyone and still be victorious. You have to understand. Like I listen to Joe's podcast, and I've seen him destroy Taxstone. I've seen him destroy Rory and Mal. I've seen him destroy anybody that mentions his name. So this is nothing new for Joe. This is his world. He's been doing the podcasting for a number of years.
I'm not too sure if he destroyed Rory and Mal. I'm not too sure about that. I got a lot of respect for Rory. I think he clapped at them, but Rory holds his own. I've never met Mal, but hang on. I'm being fair and objective here. And let me just say this for those who don't know. Rory reached out to me years ago, and I went on the Joe Budden podcast. I forget which episode that was. Mal wasn't there then. And I didn't know Rory, and I was taking some shots at him, and he took it on the chin. He's a great fucking guy. And I'll say this with all due respect to Joe, a lot of Joe's success, Rory was very instrumental in the development of that Joe Budden podcast. Let's not get it fucked up.
My good man, we're not disputing that Roy and Mal didn't help Joe. What I'm saying is, when you're clapping back at Joe is going to respond back. He called them the bare minimum boys. He critiqued the way they were doing their podcast.
But you said he destroyed Rory. I don't agree with that. I think they had a fair exchange. But hang on. Let's go back. Adam 22 has opened up. Well, he's taking shots at Joe Budden. What happens next? Brooklyn Giggles, please.
What happens next is this is what Joe, typical Joe, what he's going to do is he probably is not going to entertain it at first. He's not going to entertain it at first, but then if he sees that Adam continues to try to make Joe look, like he's not a good podcaster, then I see Joe really letting the bar down, like letting the gun out. I see Joe destroying Adam 22. Like, I'm talking about disrespecting him and his livelihood. I really think Joe, this is easy for him. It's nothing to him. This guy used to be a rapper. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? This is Joe Budden. This man will destroy Adam 22. If we're talking about the podcast game, like Adam 22 has no chance in really insulting Joe. He could do the best he can. I mean, Adam 22 feels like he's up right now. He's made money off of being a pimp for his wife, so he feels like he's up right now. You see Adam 22 insulting people on his podcast. He think he's untouchable right now, like Nicky Barnes. I get it, but you ain't touching Joe. You ain't touching.
I'm going to say this, Brooklyn Giggles, and you keep me posted on the bullshit. I want to see Joe Budden come in with a fresh pedicure and his little green flip-flops. And go balls deep on that white boy. I want to see it. I want to see Joe screaming at the top of his lungs, putting his foot on the gas, as we know he can do, with no fucks given. And I want to see the rest of his staff quiet whilst that man gets focused. That is Joe Budden. Go ahead and finish up.
You mentioned staff. I think Joe is going to open the floodgates for Ice and Ish to go in on Adam 22 as well. You might not think that's the best idea because it's better when Joe does the talking, but I see Adam 22. He was going in on Ish a couple of weeks ago, so I really feel like this is the opportunity.
I didn't know this. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was coming at him as well. So I think this is the time for Joe Budden podcast, not just Joe. Gotcha. But the rest of the podcast, the show, we need to go in on him, like for real.
Okay. And Tasha K set all of this on fire. Have you seen the interview with Tasha K and Adam 22? It's lit.
That interview was lit. I mean, even though I might not always agree with her methods, I got to keep it real. Like, she's doing the damn thing. She can't hide in Africa forever. That's what she's doing.
She ain't
hiding in Africa. So she was in Africa hiding, thinking that they won't get her for the $4 million for the money she owes Cardi B. Come on. I'm not dumb. When Africans do dumb shit, they fly to Africa so they won't get caught.
All right, hang on a second. Whack 100 not happy with the Adam 22 interview. Oh, okay. I gotta watch this. Hang on. I gotta watch this. And what's the other guy's name? Is it Hold on. I want to make sure I say the right thing. Hold on. I got to get this guy's name right. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but keep me up to speed on the bullshit, okay?
Mia Bleach, my nigga.
Mia Bleach. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay. Everybody sit tight. Folks, I'm going to end this show tonight on some messy shit. I have to do it. Salute to Wallow and Gilly. Oh. Gilly and I are old associates. Gilly allegedly sold me 2 guns back in the days, a long time ago. But I've never met Wallow. I don't know when this Papoose and Remy Ma interview happened on Wallow and Gilly's podcast. You guys know what I'm talking about? Remy Ma is sitting there. Oh, the look of shame on her face. Ooh, child. Papoose is talking. Remy's sitting there just looking down with the glasses. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? This nigga Pap talking about going to see her every day. The look of shame on Remy's face. Hold on a second. Tony B got your donation. Okay. BW had a good run. Taylor reclaiming. Okay, thank you. Okay. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but okay, thank you. Alfred, I got your donation. The Black Star Line. Respect Garvey. Was that Marcus Garvey's scamming ass? Let me Google this shit. I think that's what it's called, the Black Star Line. Hold on a second, Marcus Garvey. No, it's called Circle Line, sir. The rusty ass boat. Yeah. Black Star Line. Here it is right here. Look at that big ass rusty boat. Oh my God. A shipping line incorporated by Marcus Garvey, the organizer of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. I'm not reading that bullshit. Transportation of goods. Fuck out of here. He never went to Africa. And he was not banned from Africa. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Please stop the cap, okay? Hey, guys, I appreciate your support. I will see you all tomorrow at some point, I'm sure, okay? Keep me up to speed on all the bullshit. Salute to Tasha K. Her interview with Adam 22. A classic, okay? Salute to my homie Joe Budden. I don't know Adam 22, but it's so lit right now. And salute again to this young man, Spencer, who did a wonderful breakdown on the DJ Envy and Caesar Pina scam, okay?